From Cheater's surveillance cameras, you and I will witness true stories filmed live. We are documenting the agonizing pain caused by severe infidelity. This program is dedicated to the faithful and presented to the false-hearted, hoping to encourage a true renewal of temperance and virtue. Coming up on this intense episode of Cheaters, our investigators tracked them down perfectly at a local head shop. The bitter confrontation started with a tense request to talk. One angry woman firmly claimed to be his real girlfriend. Jonathan tried to walk away. The camera crew chased him as he fled the scene. All we want is the honest truth. Real reality television brought to you by Cheaters. Detective agencies and private eyes on Cheaters. Welcome back. Tonight's episode involves Amy Stagen. She arrived with serious misgivings about her boyfriend's shady actions, desperately seeking the absolute truth today. Amy begged our investigative team for help. Amy explained that before she and Jonathan dated, they were best friends. They stayed incredibly close once their romantic relationship finally started. She saw a real fire in his eyes when he worked on his rap music, and she was always right there to support his big dreams. For a while, Amy felt like he truly supported her too. He was funny and full of life. She knew he partied a bit, but it wasn't anything too drastic. She really didn't mind it at first, knowing he smoked marijuana. But it was never a constant, everyday thing until very recently. Enter Jonathan Johnson, age 22, an aspiring rapper accused of completely abusing the help he receives. Cheaters headquarters deployed a squad of investigators to the home the suspect shared with his parents. Sometime later, Cheaters officials spied suspect Johnson as he stepped out of the house. The accused philanderer met an unidentified car that pulled up curbside. Johnson quickly got into the vehicle. The suspect and the unknown driver left. They arrived at a shopping center featuring a yogurt shop. The suspect and his unknown chauffeur stepped right into the yogurt store. Amy claimed Jonathan no longer shared anything with her, especially his feelings. He wouldn't even share his music. She never heard from him and never saw him. She told us it felt like they weren't even really dating anymore. She felt they weren't even friends anymore. She hated that he only came around or wanted to talk when he desperately needed money or a ride somewhere across town. Otherwise, he was constantly stoned, making a real conversation completely impossible for her. Even sober, he seemed totally distracted and stopped paying any real attention to her needs. He just wasn't focused on her. His favorite excuse was that her family hated him, so why show up? But she knew that was absolute bullshit. Because back in the day, he actually tried impressing her family by showing up sober to their events. Now, when he finally does show up, he really doesn't give a shit. Stick with us. Sometime later, suspect Johnson and his ride left the shop. Johnson and his yogurt date head back to his mother's house. The suspect and the young woman sneak right up to the door. Let's watch this together. Our investigation team waits a bit, catching sight of Johnson and an unfamiliar friend. The two of them hang around in the backyard for a while. A bit later, the woman takes off, wrapping up our surveillance for the night. He needs to grow up and take responsibility for his own actions. I am done supporting him financially and emotionally. I'm done being there, and I just need to find the truth so I can get relief. The Cheaters team continues to stake out the suspect's residence. Later on, detectives spot that mystery driver pulling right up to the front yard. Suspect Johnson greets the driver and hops right into her car. Tailed closely by the Cheaters team, the cheating pair drive straight to a local park. Johnson and his lady friend, who we now identify as Samantha Davis, find a picnic table where the two sit. They both smoke what looks like a marijuana joint, followed by a pipe. Eventually, Johnson and Davis finish up their outdoor fun. They slide back into Davis's car and trace the exact same route to his place. Upon arrival, Johnson gives his female friend a tight hug. The accused lovers share a parting kiss. As Davis drives off, our investigators call it a night. You and I know the drill. Cheaters agents stick around to watch the home, the house shared with his parents. Hours later, Johnson bursts out the front door, rushing to greet Davis as she arrives. The suspect's side piece greets him with a very loving hug. Johnson takes the wheel this time. Cheaters inspectors tail the suspect and his companion to a convenience store arms wrapped around each other. The sneaky pair makes their way right into the store. Just moments later, the suspect and Davis stroll out the doors. Davis happily carries the bag of goods. Johnson pumps gas while the cheating duo continues their evening. Cheaters operatives track the suspect and his hot date to a parking lot. Suspect Johnson sparks up more marijuana joints, happily passing them to his sneaky companion. Between hits, Johnson and Davis share a few kisses. A little while later, the suspect and his smoking buddy leave. Johnson and Davis roll right back to the suspect's family home. Standing outside the car, Johnson and his other woman share a goodbye kiss before Davis leaves. Our investigators finally place the phone call to an anxious Amy. Coming up next, the big confrontation. Finding hard proof of Amy's fears. Cheaters calls her for an urgent meeting. With her heart beating in her throat, Amy bravely agrees to meet us. Amy, I just want to thank you for coming out with us tonight. Are you ready to see what Mr. Jonathan has been up to? Yeah, I need to know. Fair enough. Amy, we began our investigation right outside Jonathan's residence. A few moments later, we saw him walk out. The suspect walks up to the silver sedan. You and I can see him head straight to the passenger door. He gets inside the vehicle. The investigation team tails the two of them arriving at a shopping center and hitting a yogurt shop. That is precisely where he's spotted, walking alongside a dark-haired woman. So after leaving the yoga parlor, they head back to his residence. The host pauses the surveillance footage. Do you recognize her? Amy nods. I know her. You know her? The host asks. Who is that? Her name's Samantha, Amy explains. We knew each other from school, shared some mutual friends, but I've never really spoken to her. He asks how Samantha would even get in touch with Jonathan. Amy notes Jonathan shares mutual friends with her. Really? The host asks in disbelief. Mm-hmm. Amy nods. Well, that is definitely good to know. The footage shows them entering his parents' house. Later that evening, Samantha's silver car sits waiting outside. Jonathan hops inside. They drive off and eventually arrive at a park. Both of them step out of her vehicle. Samantha holds a glass smoking device. While the investigator watches from a nearby bench, Jonathan suddenly gets a phone call. That phone call was actually with Amy. The host asks if she remembers this exact conversation. Amy nods. Okay. On the recording, Amy asks, Hey, I just wanted to know if we still had plans tonight. For real? Yes, for real, he replies. I'm in the studio, he lies. I told you about dinner. I'm waiting here trying to work, he adds. And you, well, I don't know what to do with you. I don't know what to do with you. I'm honestly not trying to be, he adds. He continues. Honestly, not trying to be over at your parents' house. You know how I feel about them. I don't even understand. Like, I'm here for you. I'm here to support you, he claims. He scoffs. And you can't even do these little things for me. I gotta get back to work. You know I'm gonna meet up with you. I promise, he insists. Sure, she replies. Back in the van, Amy fumes. I'm pissed. He's lying, taking my loyalty for granted. The host nods. He's taking way more than just loyalty. On screen, Jonathan lights a packed glass pipe for his side piece, and they continue to smoke. Once the two of them finish smoking, they climb into Samantha's car and head straight back to his parents' house. Let's look at this together. They embrace arm in arm, exchanging a very, very long kiss. Amy, we know where they are, he says. They're parked at a head shop. A what, a head shop? She asks. He asks if she's ready to confront them. She nods. I'm ready, he points. All right, Amy, this way. They rush in. Her first go, someone shouts. Jonathan panics. I gotta step outside. Nobody can see me. Can I use the back? No back doors, a worker replies. Behind you, someone yells. Right behind you. I'm just kidding. Someone laughs. He gasps. Who's that? The host steps up. Can we talk a minute, man? He asked to speak with her. No. He asked again, but she refused loudly, demanding that they put the surveillance cameras away immediately. He stopped Samantha. The other woman snapped, claiming to be his girlfriend. He frantically denied the infidelity, pleading with them. He continued to beg. She pushed back, insisting that they were not going to do this right now. She demanded not to be touched, while he pleaded for just a minute with Samantha. Clark from the show Cheaters stepped in, explaining they were only there because of Amy. Amy suspected Jonathan of cheating after they had been together for 2 full months. He scoffed at the 2 months. He asked if she was serious, and she firmly confirmed it. He refused to talk in front of everyone, desperately trying to get away. Clark explained that the crew followed Jonathan and caught the two on hidden surveillance footage. Clark asked if this was her. She stammered nervously. The video showed them sharing a smoke, which she poorly explained. Jonathan told Amy she was tripping, completely dismissing the girl. Amy challenged him to leave the girl, then mentioning his previous nasty insults toward her. Clark pointed out that Jonathan had lied. In reality, he was seeing her on a regular basis and getting phone calls. Let's watch this unfold. Amy revealed he stayed over 3 nights a week, demanding real answers from the man. Clark agreed that Jonathan owed Amy an explanation, while Jonathan just kept apologizing and denying. He apologized repeatedly, begging Amy to just go home and talk. Amy shot him down, stating clearly that he wasn't coming to her house. She reminded him it was her home, telling him she would leave his belongings outside. Jonathan frantically kept asking who everyone was, completely panicked by the sudden confrontation. Amy angrily taunted him, pointing out that he was too much of a coward to even look her in the face. She asked where Jonathan was running. She mocked him for running away. The dramatic conclusion was up next. The crew knew their exact location, tracking the cheating couple to a headshot. Clark approached, asking for just a minute of their time. The other woman cursed, boldly declaring herself as Jonathan's girlfriend. Amy asked where Jonathan was heading. Clark ordered the camera crew to follow the quickly escaping man. Clark called out, saying they only wanted the truth. Amy reminded him that he knew the truth since he stayed at her house. She accused him of using the other girl too, asking where he was going. She claimed he was using her, demanding he come back. Jonathan demanded they keep Amy away from him if he came over. He begged her to protect him. You and I can sense his fear as Amy mocked him for avoiding eye contact. Clark promised that if Jonathan talked, his security team would create a safe perimeter. Security. Let's watch as they dragged him over, begging him to finally explain to Amy what just happened. He was assured she wouldn't attack him, but he stubbornly refused to speak with his girlfriend anymore. He called her a cowardly bitch. Jonathan, the crew told him that if he wanted to confess, the time was right now. He asked what they wanted to hear, arrogantly denying they even caught him cheating. Then he suddenly confessed it. He shrugged dismissively, asking them what else he was supposed to say. They offered to show the video evidence, and he defensively asked what they actually saw. The investigator calmly agreed to show him the cold, hard video proof. He demanded details. The team revealed their surveillance footage, caught the two happily getting frozen yogurt together. They were also filmed chilling at the park, casually smoking blunts together. He truly looked like he was enjoying himself. The footage even showed him lighting a bowl. Suddenly, absolute chaos erupted as the crew desperately yelled to get him down. Multiple people scrambled in the scuffle, repeatedly shouting that they had the situation controlled. The security team stepped in aggressively, confirming they had him. Amy furiously threatened to beat him. The host urged everyone to calm down, insisting they only wanted the truth. The bystanders gasped in pure shock as a massive physical struggle escalated. Security finally regained control. He mocked the women, claiming he bounced between 3 houses because they lacked substance. He arrogantly blamed everyone else. Here's where it gets wild. Both women realized they were funding him while he played totally clueless. He demanded she stop walking away. Then he demanded they keep her away, shouting that he already warned her. He bragged about his new woman and ordered her silence. She challenged the side piece to fight, telling her to shut up. She taunted the useless security guards to do their jobs, while a crew member swore she wouldn't actually hit him. The host promised safety, noting that Amy clearly didn't support his heavy marijuana habit. He confessed he loved Amy, but called her boring, claiming his mistress offered better sex. He tried keeping it brutally real, arguing that as a man, he desperately needed amazing sex. He complained she was always too tired for intimacy, arrogantly declaring himself an absolute king. Amy didn't care, sarcastically pointing out that real kings usually own their own giant castles. He retorted that kings have wives, mistresses, and other hoes. She mocked him for living with his parents, questioning if they ever truly even knew each other. Someone spotted his glasses. The host thanked Amy. They asked him to step closer. He defensively told them to back off, though nobody was even crowding him. The host pleaded with him to finally tell the truth, be a man, and admit his major mistake. He finally caved, bluntly confessing that he cheated. He mumbled a weak, unconvincing apology. He declared his love, but she angrily accused him of acting entirely crazy. Someone sarcastically echoed that he loved her. You and I both know it's a mess. He then accused her parents of being secretly racist. Let's watch her make it clear she isn't playing any games with him. She had held out hope for him, but he completely failed to show up for her. She actually thought he loved them. He tries pointing the finger right back. The host asks if he has anything to say for his mistakes. He mumbles an apology, but the host warns she isn't finished yet. The cheater runs his mouth, bragging about his lifestyle and claiming he will still leave with his new girl by the end of the night. The host asks Amy if she hears him talking all that obvious trash. Someone demands to know why the coward is running into his parents' house. The security team aggressively warns the cheating boyfriend not to try anything stupid. Tensions boil over as the bodyguard shouted him to stand down immediately. Security declares the cheater is finished, forcefully shoving him out the way. The host reassures Amy that the most important thing is getting the truth she deserved. Amy curses in devastation, begging. Security violently barks at the guy to get out of there right now. She screams at him to stop, totally refusing to be near him. She screams for him to leave, warning him never to step closer to her again. The guards dare him to step out. They warn him one final time to leave. A chaotic scuffle starts as he screams to be released. He thrashes wildly against the furious guards. The crew pushes him back, turning their attention to helping Amy stand up. They force him from the van. Understood. Is she okay? The host fiercely vows never to let another man lay hands on her like that. She whispers her heartfelt thanks. Listen. The host mockingly asks what part of the word no he fails to grasp. You and I see he's finally realizing. The harsh truth is clearly starting to sober the guy up. This turbulent relationship is truly over. His ride finally shows up. His escape vehicle waits. A stranger offers him a ride as the chaotic street confrontation finally breaks apart. Someone demands total silence. The screaming continues as the crew struggles to maintain order. Now that the dramatic race is run, Amy admits she desperately needs to make major changes in her life. Later, the investigation completely exposes the other woman's hidden actions. But first, let's watch Candy step forward to explain her role. The night she stumbled around with a different man and ultimately got caught on camera. Candy claims she was simply hanging out with Juan that specific night. Her friends had no idea they were together. Let's follow her and Juan to the local zombie walk, an event they had always wanted to attend. So they finally went out. Out of nowhere, guys were entertaining a huge crowd in a circle, performing wild parkour stunts. Then, without warning, the entire atmosphere shifted. It felt like absolute chaos erupted all at once. It was just a massive explosion. What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing, you piece of... What are you doing? Seriously, what the fuck are you doing right now? Somebody get in here! Oh my God, oh my God! She and Juan had been falling hard for each other, with him confessing his deep love for her. He claimed he had always wanted to be with her. Then suddenly the confrontation happened, and everyone just instantly flipped a switch. The vibe completely soured, and it was like their entire secret romance up until then meant absolutely nothing. Suddenly, everyone started pointing angry fingers directly at her. They all blamed her, and it felt incredibly heavy. The betrayal literally blew the young woman's mind. She was completely dumbfounded, questioning how she ever allowed these toxic people into her inner circle. You're just going to stand there and let two best friends fight over you? Two best friends. They've been friends for 6 years. I don't care about either of them. I don't know. Look at them. They're kicking the absolute shit out of each other because you cheated on him. What the fuck is your problem in all this? Don't push me. You did something very wrong here. You cheated. You absolutely cheated. Stay out of this, damn it. You did this to yourself because you're a dirty cheater. Why are you doing this to him? Just stop it, please. These days, she is rebuilding herself. She went from making D'Angelo her entire universe and then treating Juan like her whole world to finally just focusing entirely on her own needs. She admits she is alone now, but people never stay single forever, and true isolation never lasts long. You and I can clearly see things are getting better. She is working hard, saving up a ton of cash, and planning a move to Los Angeles soon. She has a few former Texas friends living out there now, so she is going to pack up and join them. She plans to chase her ultimate dream of becoming a Hollywood makeup artist. Things look bright. Meanwhile, devastated by the reckless actions of suspect Amy Stage, the victim has decided to permanently sever ties with her cheating previous boyfriend. She told Cheater's investigators, "I genuinely thought Jonathan would finally man up with a little help." Initially suspect Jonathan Johnson was extremely uncooperative when questioned by the Cheater's producers. However, he soon opened up about his secret relationship. Johnson confessed the other woman took him back, stating, "Yeah, you got me. Amy completely dumped me. But kings always get bitches." Companion Samantha Davis disclosed to Cheater's officials that she was initially furious the suspect was still seeing Amy. Despite everything, she took him back. Now remember, if you don't get your television programming from Goldstein's, why we'll both lose money.